Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I created this look. This is a fall type of makeup look and I'm using only e.l.f. products during this makeup tutorial. So yeah, if you want to see how I've created this look, then please keep on watching. So for the first e.l.f. product, I'm using a primer. I already did my eyebrows off camera using another product, actually not an e.l.f. product. So I'm starting off with a primer, and this is a silicone based primer. This is the mineral infused face primer. And this primer you actually need a little amount because you know it spreads really easily and it's quite thick, so that's why. And for the foundation, I'm using this one. This is the Flawless Finish foundation in the shade Cashew. Not sure, I think this is a little bit dark, but we'll soon find out. I'm going to apply this foundation with a beauty blender. This is quite a thick foundation as well. Usually that means it is full coverage, so we're going to see if that's actually the case. So once the foundation is on, I'm actually going to start priming my eyes. I already put some foundation on my eyes, so I'm just going to set my foundation with this sheer finishing powder, and I'm just using a setting brush for that. This is in the shade, I think it's the lightest one. Or I'm just going to set my eyes with this one, I meant not my foundation. So, because one thing you want to avoid is oily eyelids, because, you know, setting your eyelids will make the foundation, the eyeshadow last longer. And for the eyeshadow, I am using this jalapeno quad, and it has 4 different shades, and you know these are quite like green type of dark olivey shades, and that matches my top very well. So we're gonna start with that. I did want to use a brown type of base crease color, so I'm just using the e.l.f. contour and blush and bronzing powder, and I'm just gonna use this bronzing powder to, you know, do the crease a bit. And so I'm just applying that in the crease. It is a little bit darker than I expected, but it's gonna work. So that should be it. I took the crease color up quite high because if you have like hooded eyes, it's hard to really see the shades or the eyeshadow. That's why I did that. So I took it out quite a bit as well on the sides, just a little bit. And then I'm going to move on with this green shade right there. I'm actually going to use the same brush, and I'm gonna just pop that green shade under the brown shade. This eyeshadow is actually better quality than I expected it to be, because it's quite pigmented. I think you can see that's quite deep and dark, and you know it applies very well as well, so I mean that's good. So now that I've applied the green shade as well, you can see that they're not really blending as I would want them to. So I'm just gonna use just a clean brush, just a clean brush with nothing, no shadow on it, and I'm just gonna blend these two because they weren't really blending at first. And with that same blending brush, I'm going to go back in the bronzer and blend that one more time. And once that's blended and it, you know, looks a bit better, I'm going to use this shimmery green shade, and yeah, I'm going to use this shimmery green shade, and I think I'm just going to apply it with my fingers. Sometimes with your fingers actually works better than especially with these shimmery shades, you know. So I'm just going to apply it with my finger, and we're going to apply it on the outer part of the lid. Well, I'm actually going to, you know what, I'm going to apply it over my entire lid. Just leave your inner corner as it is, because we're going to apply the golden shade in the inner corner. So as you can see, the green shimmery shade has been applied on the entire lid. Now I'm going to use a tiny brush, and I'm going to use that for the darker shade here. It's not black, it looks a bit like a black, grey, deep green type of shade. So I'm going to apply a little bit of that. It definitely has some green in there. I'm going to apply a little bit on the outer corner. Right on the outer V of your eye. So that's where we're applying that. Just make sure to take it out a little bit. Just a tad bit, don't take it out too far, because it's gonna look, you know, a little bit intense. Too intense actually. And what you can do actually is you can take it up a little bit over there. So, you know, you can take it up a little bit, but not as high as you applied the neutral brownish shade. Just not as high as that one. But you can take it up a bit just to deepen that shade a bit. So once you've applied that, you go back in with that blending brush again. So we're going to use that a lot. And try to take it out a bit, you know, in a V type of shape. Alright, that's that. Now the only thing we need is to pop this golden shimmery shade in. So I'm just using a tiny pointed brush, and we're gonna pop that shimmery shade in the inner corner. That is really going to make this look stand out. Well, that's only if you want to stand out. You can leave this step. It's a little extra, you know, it's just an extra touch. But I like it. And what I like to do is I like to take it up a little bit as well. So I like to take it up here a bit, you know, so that everything blends nicely. Just make sure you, you know, swoop away that excess powder that fell down, because now we're going to lay down the concealer. And for the concealer, I'm using another product by e.l.f, of course. This is the shade Light Beige. So I'm just going to use a bit of that, not too much, because I'm not sure, but I feel like it's a little bit light. And yeah. So I'm just going to put that under my under eyes, the bridge of my nose, the usual thing, the forehead, the upper lip, chin, and a little bit there, because my foundation tends to separate a bit, and a little bit down the sides of my nose, and that should be enough. Then we're just going to blend it. Just make sure to take that concealer up high, because for this look I wanted like a V-shaped type of eyeshadow. So make sure to blend that well. And once that is blended, I'm just gonna set it again with the same powder I used for my eyes. And I'm just using this I'm just using this beauty blender to just set the bridge of my nose, and that's it. Actually, I'm gonna set my entire face with this powder. And that's okay. So next we're going to contour, and I'm actually using a concealer to contour, and this is the same concealer as the other one, but this is in the shade Deep Caramel. So I'm going to use that to contour. I hope this is actually dark enough, because this is a concealer, so it might run a little light, but we'll see. I think it should be okay, actually. Try to really blend that in well, because otherwise you're really going to see those different shades, and that's going to look a little bit funny. So try to blend that in well. And the forehead, of course. So once that's all blended, I'm just going to use the beauty blender for my nose. And I actually think I left that on for too long, because it's getting a little bit dry now. So don't leave it on for too long, because then it's not going to blend anymore. Or you're going to have a hard time blending it like I'm having. So yeah, I'm just going to go over that with a little bit of concealer, the bridge. So I'm going to have it a little bit more defined, because the contour is taking over the entire nose, and you basically want to avoid that. So that's that. We're just going to set that a little bit, and then the nose should also be done. I'm just using this powder to go on the sides of my nose to get it a little bit more defined, you know, and the bridge again. So that should be good like that. So once that's done, we're gonna just go over it with this contour and blush powder, but we're gonna use the contour shade to set the cream concealers we used, or the cream contour. Yeah, you can use any brush you want basically. I'm just using this brush, and I'm just gonna set my contour a bit. Make sure you shake off the excess powder. And don't forget your forehead, and of course your nose. And you can just set your nose with a little brush like this, a little bit of a fluffy brush. Don't put too much, and just start from the brow and just go down. That's how I usually do it. Yeah, and just don't forget the tip of your nose for a little bit of a lifted type of effect. And yeah, now we're done. I'm just gonna set my face one more time using the same powder I did in the beginning. And I'm just gonna go over the contour a little bit. Just use a light hand to go over that. Otherwise it's going to disappear, of course. And your forehead. And then that should be fine like that. Next, of course, is the highlighter. And I have the Apricot Glow highlighter. This is a type of, I don't know, it doesn't look golden, doesn't look orange. Yeah, it's a type of orange golden highlighter. Just use any brush. I'm going to use this Real Techniques one just to highlight. Do people still highlight? I don't know. It's not really a trend anymore as it used to be. Well, it's not that deep, this highlighter, so you have to go over it a few times. It's very subtle. I don't know if you can see that, but very, very subtle. So just do your cheeks, or the top of your cheeks. And I'm also going to do the bridge of my nose, and I'm just going to use my finger to do that. I'm just going to use a little bit. So now I'm going to do my under eyes. I just want to pop that green type of light green shade, the bottom lash line. I'm going to use a little brush like this, like I used for this golden shade for the inner corner. And I'm going to pop this on the bottom lash line. You can skip this step if you think it makes your eyes look a little bit too dark. But I'm gonna use a new type of lipstick, so it's not gonna be overall all dark, you know? Because yeah, it does look very dark and not everybody likes this type of dark look. I don't usually do it either, so yeah, next up is the set finishing spray. And this, of course, is an e.l.f. finishing spray as well. This is the Matte Magic Mist and Set Spray. So I'm just going to set my face a bit. And now the final steps, I'm going to use, I didn't have a e.l.f. lip liner. So I'm just going to use this NYX one. And it's a brown. This is in the shade brown. And the lipstick I chose was, this is a lipstick by e.l.f. And this is the shade Nectar, if I'm correct. These are packaged in a unique type of way. Never seen them like this actually. So yeah. This is a darker, it's not really a nude because it is a little bit darker. But you know, it balances out the extreme eye. I think this lipstick is actually too bright. I didn't want to use such a bright lipstick. So I'm not very happy with this shade. Because the eyes are very, you know, very dark. And now my lipstick is quite dark as well. I actually wanted a bit more of a nude type of lipstick, and this is definitely not nude. This is very intense. So yeah, this is gonna be an intense look. If you don't like intense looks, just make sure to grab a real nude type of shade. I think this doesn't really, you know, it doesn't match the vibe I was going for. And I'm just gonna use this mascara. This is not by e.l.f. Just use any mascara you have. I didn't have e.l.f. mascara, so that's why. So this is the final look with the mascara added. I hope you guys like this look. Yeah, it was very simple actually. It's not that much. It is quite intense, but like I said, you can leave the under eyeshadow, you can leave that and just brighten it up with maybe a nude brownish type of shade under the lash line. That will make it a little brighter. But yeah, then again, it is a fall type of makeup look, so that's what this is basically. Yeah, so if you like this look, please yeah, leave a like and comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you want to see more makeup videos, you can always leave a comment down below, and you know, I'll always reply. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and then I'll see you again in another video.